Hi, I'm Jenna.
I'm Jennifer Marita. I'm a certified divorce financial analyst with the Tranel Financial Group.
Well, welcome. Very
Thanks.
exciting. So if any of you actually know either one of us at all, well, we are both into health, and we were talking about really how health and finance parallel each other fairly close in the mindset of it, right? And how you think about your health and then how you think about your finances. And one of the aspects to it is a lot of people really wait until January 1st to start, right? That's like the perception that we've been given from society that, January 1st you start. And realistically, you have to take it a step back. And in the fall is when you do a lot of the preparation aspect for it. And again, this can go towards anyone who's married, divorced, single, whatever, because you are a divorce financial analyst. So this can be applied to divorce.
Yeah, applied to everything.
But to any situation in that matter as well. So we actually thought it'd be a really cool idea to go through some of the parallels of the two and really think about your health and think about your finance in that manner. And we're actually going to do like a stimulus together. So we're going to be talking about our health a little bit. We're going to be talking about our finance a little bit. So we're going to get a little vulnerable with you here. So I hope y'all are okay with that. Please don't judge us for that manner. But the cool thing is that at the end of this, you'll have a strong understanding or a better understanding of really how you at home on your own can take these questions, write them down, and stick to some of it as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's jump into this. So this is like her structure of what she goes through in a meeting at times as well. So why don't you start with your first goal of what you ask people, and then I can respond.
Of course.
Does that sound good?
So I always start with, what is your goal?
Okay, I love that. So for fitness, I would probably say my goal is I would like to go back to the gym 6 days a week. I know that with COVID and everything of that nature, sometimes I get a little nervous. Sometimes I get really excited. Sometimes I get a little nervous, but I need to stay on track. I'd like to go back 6 days a week.
Okay.
For that. And then on the finance side, by the end of this year, I would like to have about, $10,000 saved in my liquid savings account.
That's a really good goal.
Okay.
That's a very good goal.
Yeah, so I'd like 6 days a week and $10,000 in my savings account.
Perfect. And then the next part is really understanding where you currently are. So what are your current numbers? And it could be, I'm going to give an example of like BMI or weight, or you can do blood tests if you want to get a little bit deeper into cholesterol levels in that matter. And then for finance, what are your end goals or current numbers? I'm sorry, we talked about end goals. What are your current numbers for where are you at in your savings account now? Where are you at with your retirement account now? Where are you at with if you wanted to plan a vacation and you want to go to Greece in 3 years? So what are your current numbers?
Okay. For me, I currently only go to the gym about 3 days a week, so I have to double what I'm currently doing for that aspect. So I go currently 3, I want to get to 6. And then my current savings, do you want just my savings? Do you want like retirement? My IRA?
You can just do savings.
Okay.
You don't have to be that vulnerable and know everything about Jenna.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. Just my current savings is about 8. So, to save another 2 by the end of the year is very, very plausible.
Very good. Very good
Aspect.
Another thing that we look at is credit reports. So we have a lot of tools that we look at with our clients to really figure out what their current numbers are now.
How long is your checklist that you go
budgeting.
through?
I don't want to scare anybody away, but I want to make sure that it's thorough for our clients. So, it's decently long. It's not too bad, but it's really efficient because, we have exactly what we go through, like the credit report, what's your current budget, where are your assets and liabilities, the things that you want all in one picture and in one plan, which brings us to the next level the next point is building a plan. Because once you know what your goal is, so what's your destination and what or where you are now, then you know how to build that plan in between. So how are you going to build your plan to get from 8,000 to 10,000 or to get from working out 3 days a week to 6 days a week? And here at the Tranel Financial Group, we have a lot of tools for the financial piece of it to help clients really understand that. So yes, we pen to paper, we whiteboard, but we also use e-money and asset map to really put some data analysis behind the information that you're giving us that's so personal to build your personalized plan to show you how to get there. So tell us, what's your plan to get there? I'm putting you on the spot. I know.
My plan to get there would be
stop eating sushi. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not going to continue to eat the sushi. I guess my plan to get there would probably be to actually sign up for the classes in advance.
That's a good one.
In that manner. And then probably, I'm a big person on if I tell someone, the likelihood of me doing it is a lot higher, and my
Accountability.
structure is a lot lean, like it's very strict to that manner. And then honestly, for the building a plan aspect of just saving is, I'm Rock Tranel's daughter, so saving has been ingrained in my head since day one. So it's already, my plan is already there. It's save, 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 save constantly.
Which is opposite of how I grew up, which I didn't know how to save, and it really wasn't talked about. So we have two different aspects, because like I said, money is personal. It was ingrained in you. It was not in me. So I've got to, come at it a different way to work really hard to make sure saving is important. Because it is hard to save.
But that's where the financial advisor can really be such a true asset to you, right? Because they are really, in a weird way, like your friend. They tend to be a very trusted person in your life, as you do, peel back the onion and be a little bit more vulnerable to that sense. But your financial advisor truly is your accountability partner, and I think that's something that people overlook at times, or overlook that true asset of what they can be to you, versus just giving a plan and then having you go figure it out. Right? That's why they're here. It's not a set it and forget it. It's let's build a plan. It's a living document. Things change, other aspects in life pop up, and that's why Jennifer's here to really help push and motivate you to make sure that you're staying on course, right?
Yes,
to that aspect.
And step number 4, this is a kind of a different thing to talk about, but I really want people to know what their pitfalls are.
Yes.
And by that I mean, my example is if I have Oreos in my house, I'm going to eat the Oreos. Like, I'm gonna eat the ice cream. That's just, the junk food is there, I'm going to eat it. So that's my pitfall. I also like to go out to eat, so there's my money pitfall. So we really want to list out what your pitfalls are with getting to your financial goals of retirement or the emergency savings, and what can come into play. So I guess I want to hear a little bit about what your pitfalls are on both areas, because I told them about my Oreos. So
my health pitfall would probably be, I love to sleep. Sleep is a huge benefactor for me. I love it. And a lot of my workout classes are very early in the morning, 5:30. If anyone's looking for a gym, Heather's Gym, 5:30 in the morning for that one. So I really do love my sleep, and that's something that's very valuable to me. So I just need to retrain my mind at times for that. And then for finance, would probably be our heater is about to go out. So, that's about 10 grand. So there goes my entire savings if that happens, in that nature. So just really building that and making sure that my investments accounts can cover that as well.
Yeah, well, that's good to know. And it's always good for people to say, hey, my kid might need braces, or, the car might break down, or it may need new tires. So really understanding what could come up, I could lose my job, or I'm, so just really putting out what the threats are to your goals, and understanding, and then maybe having, saving for that if there's room in the budget. So it really is important to name those pitfalls.
Definitely, I would agree.
And then the next one is really building good habits. So number 5 is really building good habits. At first, motivation can take over. Everything is very exciting when you're working out, or you're eating right, or you're really starting a new budget. But then you have to replace that motivation with good habits. So what are some of the good habits that you have?
So once we're past the honeymoon stage, right? In the honeymoon stage, I'm so excited. I bounce out of bed in the morning. I'm like, I'm ready to go. And I just start. And, once it's past that little honeymoon stage of getting excited, honestly, the camaraderie to me at the gym, I really do truly value the relationships that I have there, and the accountability aspect to it, right? If you tell someone, that really is the habit to me that's going to be ingrained in it. And then I know this is a little contradictory, but for the finance aspect of it is, I tend to, the habit that I would create would be to set it and forget it, right? So I have that portion of money go to a separate savings account, and I just set
it.
Making
it automatic.
Yeah, I'd set it and forget it. And
that's really
what happens with my Roth IRA, my 401k. They just go there, and I don't even think about them.
Yeah, that's very good.
I think that's really helpful for me personally.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. And a couple other ideas are just making sure you revisit. And I don't think once a week is too often, of revisiting what the budget is. Did things not go as planned? And they're not going to go as planned all the time. But that's
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's life.
Yeah, exactly. So just revisit it, and how can we make any tweaks or changes? But really holding yourself accountable to that helps, because it becomes a habit then. If every Sunday at 9 in the morning you're looking and seeing how did it go that week. So that is one that I think is very important.
Definitely.
You know, I talked a lot about budgets, and I really want to change the mindset around budgeting. Budgeting is not restricting. It's actually freeing. Budgeting gives you this self-empowerment, an empowerment for your family that you are telling your money where to go, and you are in control of, you know, having that savings or having the emergency savings, and things can get tight, and it really just helps you be able to plan. So I like that mindset shift of really budgeting is not a discipline, or not a bad thing or a punishment is what I was looking for. Budgeting
that
is
is
really
true.
freeing.
Yeah. I'd also like you to touch on one more point, Jennifer. I was lucky enough to sit in one of Jennifer's meetings the other day, so thank you for letting me do that. But one of the things she talked about, and it was a big takeaway for the client, which actually hit me, so you kind of hit all three of us at once, was talking about splurges while budgeting. This was a divorce client, but splurging while budgeting, I thought was talk about that. That was really insightful.
And you know what? It reminds me of, just came to me. It reminds me of having a cheat day when you're trying to eat well.
Yep.
Or a cheat meal. Let's not do the whole day. But having a cheat meal. So you want to have that little bit of a splurge fund. So putting money in, it's not the emergency savings. It's putting money into a splurge fund. So you allow yourself to, if you want to take the kids to the pumpkin farm, you know, it's fall out, that's kind of on my mind, or you want to buy those pair of shoes, whatever it is, that you're not so restrictive that you're saying, hey, once a month, I'm going to go do this. And that's your splurge fund.
Absolutely.
So it's a mindset. It really is.
I do like that. Just in the world that we live in, the mindset around budgeting can be very restrictive, and to add a splurge
it's like a
fund,
bad word.
Yeah, it really is. And I obviously we're financial. We work for a financial advising firm, so for us, we're like budgets. So very different. But I think that when we do talk to people, it's almost like a sense of relief when they do go through and understand the value that we bring to budgeting. And really specifically, because you're a certified divorce financial analyst, that is one of the most important times to make sure that you do have a budget, and that your splurge fund, quote unquote, is intact, because when you're going through a divorce or these hard times, you want to get away and free your mind, going to an event or what you talked about with the kids or anything of that nature. So thank you so much for talking about that. I think it's important to remember that, quote unquote, it doesn't start over at the new year, right? You can start over at any point in time, right? And a lot of times we do fall campaigns in the sense that, we start over in the fall to make sure we're ready for, January 1st and in that nature. So I do encourage y'all to come and talk to Jennifer. So Jennifer is a certified divorce financial analyst. She can help you before, during, or after the divorce, and that aspect as well. She can also do second looks to any of the plans that you guys have. So if you're currently doing a budget plan right now, she'll come and do a second look to see if there should be anything moved around or just any sort of advice to that nature for that. And then she could also see, she talked about the tools we have, eMoney and Asset Map. If you're, how much % funded you are to retirement, right? If that's the nature of life of where you're in right now and you're thinking about retirement, you can understand and see better where you are and how quickly or not quickly you can retire to that manner. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Jennifer Morita, 847-680-9050.